This week, we are going to explore the top 3 new construction communities people are moving to here in Palm Beach, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty. Welcome. If this is your first time to our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button there over in the corner. While you're at it, ring that bell. What that'll do is that'll notify you each time we put out a new video. We put out new videos every single week. So if you are wondering what it's like to eat, sleep, and drink here in Palm Beach and in South Florida, if that's the case, this channel is for you. 16 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach and South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people, perhaps like you, do exactly the same thing. We've helped so many people relocate to here, this part of the world we call Palm Beach and South Florida, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about relocating to here, to South Florida, to Palm Beach, and you have questions and you want to ask it from people who've actually done it before, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that phone number. Also, 2 great ways is in the description and in the comment section, there's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that'll help set up some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whichever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating to here to sunny South Florida. This week, I want to explore 3 of the top new construction communities that people are moving to. When we take calls from people that are relocating to here in South Florida, these 3 are by far the most asked when it comes to relocating and exploring new construction in Palm Beach, Florida. Stick around to the end because I am going to explore my favorite community at the very end. The first community we are going to explore when it comes to places that people are moving to here in South Florida and to Palm Beach is the community of Arden. I love Arden. Arden started about 4 years ago or so. Here we are in the second half of 2022, and it was a big deal. Arden is let me give you an idea of the location of it. It is very, very far west. And if you haven't seen it, I did a pros and cons video on the community of Arden. And one of the cons that people sometimes say about it is that, yeah, it's a little bit out of the way. And if I want to go to the beach, I want to be right there. If you're thinking about you want to live on the beach, if that's the case, Arden is not for you. It is a good, let's say, a half-hour ride from the community of Arden to get to the beach, and the closest beach, which is Palm Beach. The good news about its location is it's located on Southern Boulevard. Southern Boulevard is the best road in Palm Beach to go east and west. It's really, if you want to go across the state even, it's the fastest road one would take. It's also an easy ride into the airport. So if you're a traveler, which a lot of people are that live here, they might have to do a lot of commuting to whether it's New York, Chicago, LA, or whatever the case may be. It is a fairly easy ride down Southern Boulevard into the airport. But let me focus on some of the pros when it comes to Arden, and probably the biggest pro when it comes to living in Arden is the amenities. The amenities are killer. I remember when they first invited us out to the community, everyone was in awe. And we had people coming from other locations, either other realtors from other locations visiting the area, and they would come look at the place and they'd be looking at it and they'd be like, wow, I can't believe you guys do this. Since then, there's been some other communities that have sort of like copied it and whatnot. It still is probably the best community from an amenities standpoint. The pool is like a resort style pool. It is a killer pool. One of the best things, well, a couple of the best things about that pool is it's got these 2 waterfalls coming down on the side, which makes it absolutely beautiful. If you stand on the other side of the pool and look out, it's got like a beach entry. So what's great about that is if you have kids, let's say they're young kids and they're not really strong swimmers, they don't have to just like jump off into like 3 feet of water. You can ease into it. In fact, you can bring your chair and just sit and lounge in the beach, on the beach entry, and oversee the beautiful resort pool. To the right, you have the clubhouse itself, which in itself is beautiful as well. The other thing about the pool that I think is rather nice is if you look at it again from the beach entry, you look up, and if you walk around to the clubhouse on the top, there's what they call the tranquil area. The tranquil area is meant for people who want like a quiet time. You want to read a book, as an example, for just to just hang out by the pool and just quiet time. Kids can go there as long as they are behaved and can be quiet and so forth. But it's a beautiful area. I love the way they separate it because they want to make this resort pool something for everyone. The other thing about the pool area and the amenities, they call it the welcome center. If you come into the clubhouse area, there's a welcome center. There's also a golf cart. I gotta say that there's a golf cart area too. This community is very, very golf cart friendly. So you can take your golf cart from your home, which they actually make some of these homes with golf cart garages, believe it or not, and you can drive it into the community, park it in front of the amenities, into the welcome center, or they call it the lake house sometimes, and enjoy everything that the amenity center has to offer. Next to the tranquil area is they have a big TV. So I mentioned this in my pros and cons video. So if you're a football guy and you want to be with your friends, and great way to learn and get to know your neighbors, you can sit there and watch it right, it's adjacent to the tranquil area, so it's a little bit away. So it's enough away where you can still be tranquil and enjoy the game. So they have a nice TV where you could watch it, and over to the other side, if you're sitting here watching the television to the left, there's a bunch of grills, so you can grill food, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken wings, you name it. I mean, the amenity center has pretty much everything. If you go downstairs, so the clubhouse, you have the stairs, you can get a great view of the pool, and then if you go downstairs, there's a fitness center. What I think one of the benefits of this community is that the HOA is only today in 2022, which it'll go up over the years, I'm sure, as expenses go up with the cost of living and cost of wages and whatnot, is $280 a month. And it gets you all this, and the reason why you're able to get as much with this amenities for such a low HOA fee is because there are 2,500 homes in Arden, and so the cost of the amenities is spread out over a very large base. Again, you go downstairs from the clubhouse, and they have a fitness center. So that's one of the reasons why I bring up the price. So if you're like used to spending, I don't know, 50, 80, 20, whatever you spend on like LA Fitness or that, work that into your budget because you don't have it, because the gym, the fitness center is actually nice. I take advantage, I don't live in Arden, but I live nearby, and I take advantage of my gym. It saves me, probably $50 to $80 a month by not having to pay the LA Fitness fee. So that's one of the benefits when it comes to living in Arden. And all HOAs are not equal, so when you see an HOA fee, you always want to explore what it includes, because not all HOAs are created equal. Within the clubhouse, they have a general store, which is really nice. So you could be hanging out by the pool, and you can go in. There's always someone there behind the counter. If you want to buy something, they have coffee, they have all kinds of snacks and whatnot. Also adjacent to the clubhouse, the store and whatnot, they have an area where they have like meetings, and you can rent, and they have board meetings in there. So they have a lot. And they have a party room. So if you want to rent the party room, like let's say you want to have a party, an event, whether it's for a kid or an older person, and it's adjacent to the clubhouse, it's a great way to enjoy the amenities and not have everybody come to your house. One of the most unique things about Arden is that they have a working farm. And they have a farm, one of the other communities I'm going to be mentioning, they have a farm that they're building. But this one is truly unique. This one is a working farm. They have staff on hand, and you have a farm share. As part of your HOA, as part of the HOA fee I described, you get a farm share. So each resident has a day. Mine might be, let's say, the 12th of the month. I'll go down on the 12th of the month, and I pick up my farm share. What that means is that whatever's in season, and there's not a whole lot growing in the summertime here in South Florida, but for most of the other season, there is always something. Depends on whether you're April, October, whatever the month is. There'll be something in season, and you'll come and pick up your farm share. Whether it's fruits, vegetables, all kinds of stuff, herbs, they grow it there, and that's one of the benefits of living in Arden, the working farm. The other thing they have is they have a you pick it, so you could. They have little areas where if you see it growing and it looks good, you want to pick up a squash or whatever, you pick that. You can pick it. That's why they call it you pick it. The other thing that's great about it is, and I want to make this point to the whole area of Arden, is their events are great. They have terrific events. They do them at the farm. That's one of the events. That's one of the places they do the events. They have like tables, and you can actually hang out in the farm. It might seem a little bit unbearable in the summer, and it is. But like in the cooler months, in the fall and in the winter time, it is. This is the best. This is the best place to be in the winter, hands down, in South Florida. But they have great events out there, and you can enjoy it there. In the clubhouse area, there's always events like Halloween's coming up. They'll have Halloween events, they'll have Christmas events, and people just do birthday parties around the pool and so forth. So one of the benefits, one of the pros when it comes to living in Arden is there is just a ton to do. So since the community's been around, Arden's been around for a few years now, there's been a transition of builders, and reach out to our team if you want to know a little bit more about that. There's been a transition of builders. Way back then, there was I think there were 5 builders, and there have been builders that have come and gone since. They have a new builder in town. It's called GL Homes, one of my favorite builders. GL is known for 55 and older communities, but Arden is not a 55 and older community. It is an all ages community. And so GL, although they came in and they're known for that, they operate as an all age community. They're one of the best builders. Go to my pros and cons of Arden. I highlight the GL as a builder there. It's one of the places that we find great value. It's a master plan community, and it's one of the ones that we get asked about very often. One of the benefits to the fact that the community's been around about 4 years or so is that it is there are existing homes on the market. So we've been helping people who want to get in. You can go to GL or some of the other builders there, but you can also find some really nice homes in the existing market. Again, reach out to our team. We'd love to help you, because lots of times you'll find great value because people get, let's say they move to places like Arden, they get transferred. Now they have to, move back to, let's say, California as an example, and they have to move. So we have found some pretty good values when looking at existing. So reach out to our team if you want to take advantage of some of the existing homes that you find at Arden. Really important point. If you're looking at any new construction, you should definitely get independent representation. What we do is like our relocation team, the value we bring is tremendous. Remember, we don't work for any of these builders, which is helpful. We have no skin in the game as to which community you pick. If you go directly to the builder, you are dealing directly with an employee of the builder. Remember that. And their interest is to get you to buy their builder's home. So we here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we don't care if you buy in Arden, we don't care if you buy in any of the other new construction communities or even existing homes in other communities, whether it's Boynton Beach, Boca, Palm Beach Gardens, Tequesta, Jupiter. We just want to do what's right for you. And by the way, when you go to a new construction community and we help you as realtors, we are there throughout the whole process. We'll help look over the contract for you. We have our transaction coordinator team that helps keep the builder accountable. And also, just very important too, is the cost to you out of pocket for this transaction to pay us is zero out of your pocket. It's the builder that pays us, and they're happy to do it. And the reason they are is because they know that people like us, like our team, we introduce them to a lot of potential future homeowners, so they're happy to pay us our commission just to make that introduction. Our number 2 community that people are moving to in Palm Beach, it's a big master plan community. In fact, it's the biggest master plan community here in South Florida. It is Westlake. So Westlake, Florida, way back when, this is going back to like 2016, this area was originally part of Loxahatchee, and one big builder by the name of Minto bought out all the land. And it's a big parcel of land that they bought, and they've since developed it. They went ahead. They had some, they had some resistance from people who wanted to keep that area of Loxahatchee very, very old Florida and big plots of land, and there was some resistance to changing what they had originally. So what they did is they ended up making it their own city. And today it is Florida's newest city, it is Florida's fastest growing city, and it is called Westlake. Westlake is growing so fast that they even moved the tax collector out there. The tax collector for Palm Beach used to be located in Royal Palm Beach, and because they've seen all the growth going to that area, they moved it up here. It's a big building, so every time I go up there, I see something a little bit new. So if you're interested in looking at a place that's exciting, where you can see something new and different and something building every day, Westlake is a place I would consider. Westlake is probably, not probably, it is the number one community that we are asked about. There are 4,000, when all said and done, there are going to be 4,500 homes in all of Westlake. As I mentioned, Minto bought that property, and subsequently, they ended up selling parts of that land. Number one, they sold a part to Wellington Regional Hospital, which today has an ER out there, an emergency room out there, and their plan is to build a larger hospital out there. That's their goal. They also sold parcels of lands to 2 other builders. Why they did this is because they felt that these builders were not going to compete with them. Minto doesn't. They've done it in the past, but they're not really. It's not what they're known for is the 55 and older space. They sold a parcel of land to a builder called Coulter, Colter. Great builder. And they made a 55 and older community, which is called Crestwind. I've done videos on Crestwind in the past. I find it to be one of the best values when it comes to 55 and older communities. And I say this at this perspective puts it into perspective. There's 2 communities that Coulter also has. One's called Artistry, and the other one is called Alton. They're in Palm Beach Gardens. They are further east, so that is a big difference because the property values in terms of land is more expensive out east. But anyways, in those properties, they're selling homes at like $1.5 million. I mean, and they're getting them. That people are paying those prices. So you want those same models, those same homes are in Crestwind, different location, and you can get it for a lot less than $1.5 million. Thusly, I think Crestwind is one of the best values in the 55 and older space in Palm Beach. There's another one that I think is really good. So there's 2 really desirable, best value 55 and older communities, in my opinion, in Palm Beach. There's another one in other areas, but the other one, the second one I will talk to, will be in that last community we speak of. Go ahead, hit that like button there in the corner. What that'll do is that'll help get more and more people in to watch this video. It'll help get more and more people in to watch our channel. It'll help us help more and more people like yourself relocate to this beautiful part of the world we call Palm Beach and sunny South Florida. More on Crestwind. It's one of the only communities that has their own clubhouse, and it is exquisite. 55 and older communities, generally speaking, are about lifestyle. They're about activities. They have a lifestyle director. Your HOA, your homeowners association fee, is going to be a little bit higher, and more on that in a bit. Going to be a little bit higher because they have more activities. But suffice it to say that if you want to live life like there's 7 Saturdays in a week, Crestwind and 55 and older communities, that's the way to go. One of the other communities that Minto had sold to is a community called Sky Cove. Check out my channel. I did a whole video on Sky Cove way back when. Get a lot of calls on Sky Cove. It's one of those things. When we first started showing homes to clients in Sky Cove, one of the first feedback we were getting is that the homes are small. If you're okay with smaller, square footage in homes, Sky Cove is great. But I think also what they did is they reacted to it. By the way, the builder is Label and Company. They are a great builder. I love showing in there because I think you get good value there. So they ended up building a model that's called the Sandala Grand. The Sandala Grand is a total of 2,822 square feet. That is their biggest home in Sky Cove. When we talk about living space here in Florida, we talk about, you'll often see it as labeled as under air. That's what we consider living space here in Florida. Under air stands for under air conditioning, which is what we do. That's how we do, because we are hotter, we are a tropical climate. So if you see under air, that's what that means. One thing I'd like to mention about new construction communities as a whole, because this is something we get asked about all the time, is that if you go to a website, whether it's Sky Cove, whether it's Minto, whether it's Arden, you typically are looking at prices being quoted without the lots of land. That's what the builders do. It's not just Sky Cove, it's all the builders do it. It's their way of getting your attention, so to speak. So lots of times when you are looking at the prices that are quoted on the website, it's just the base price of the home. It does not include the lot of land. It does not include the options. Pretty much everyone that buys a new construction home puts some sort of options. You don't have to put a lot into it. On average, people do pay somewhere between 10 to 15% in options. You don't have to, but suffice it to say that when they quote these prices, it does not include these items. So the lots that people buy, they're all over the place. I have seen some at zero in recent months. I have seen some at $350,000. So they are all over the place. In general, if you're buying property in a new construction community, you are going to look at, where does it sit? Is it an oversized parcel? That's one factor. The biggest factor, perhaps in terms of price of the lots that you will buy and consider, is it on a lake? Here in Florida, they call them lakes, but technically they're really retention ponds. The way we irrigate our properties here, there's basically a pond. It's a man-made pond, and they're beautiful. Lots of times they'll have fountains that you'll see in the light up at night. But in general, you're going to spend sometimes as much as $100,000 more for a plot of land if you're on a lake or if you're not on a lake. One of the things I think that's great about Westlake is that it's a sort of a function of the neighborhood, the Loxahatchee area. The HOA, the Homeowners Association, is very, very lean. You can go in today's prices in 2022, you can pay an HOA fee of about $100. That's it. If you're going to buy one of the Minto communities, which they have the Grove, they have the Hammocks. Currently, they're selling a community called the Orchards. That's what they're working on, and there's a second part of the Orchard. Call our team if you want to know more about that process and that project. They have a larger community called the Estates, which is just about sold out. Last I checked, there's about 4 homes left. But in any event, because there's so many homes, the HOA is fairly low. The Minto is about $100. If you go to Sky Cove, it's about $150. And the reason is because there's not a lot of amenities. They have something called the one big amenity is called the Adventure Park, which all of Westlake gets to enjoy. It is a day off. If you were to go there, like today, for instance, we are here, and for whatever reason, it's a Friday, and there's no school today. It's one of those teacher days they have from time to time here in Palm Beach. If you were to go to the Westlake Adventure Park today, it would be crowded. They have concession stands, the resort-style pool. They have a slide on the pool. It will be crowded if you were to go there today. The one thing that they're building, I think, is really good, because we get people that ask us about this all the time, and it's not quite finished yet, but they're getting close. I peek in from time to time. Adjacent to the Adventure Park, they are building what they call an adult pool. The adult pool is meant to keep the adults sane. You have the Adventure Park is lots of times you'll see families, but the idea behind the adult pool is to make it so if you want more of a laid-back environment, that is the way to go. So if you go to Westlake today, there's just not a ton of stuff around. And that sometimes I get some pushback on that from people. Because if you want to especially if you're from an area like New York City as an example, and you want to be able to go out and it's right there, it's not like that yet. It will be. They're building something there called the Town Center. For those who are familiar with the Palm Beach County area, There's an area in downtown West Palm Beach used to be called City Place. They've changed the name to Rosemary Square, now the Square. It's all the same place. But it's similar to like in New York, it's like the South Street Seaport. They are going to build an area called the Town Center in Westlake, and they've been marketing it or framing it as if it's going to be something that rivals City Place in downtown West Palm Beach. One thing I feel confident in saying is that Westlake, as it is today in 2022, will look very different in a couple of years. So there will be things out there. Again, it's the fastest growing city in the area, fastest growing area in Palm Beach. So it will look very different. Let me talk about the process. It used to be that it was really hard to get, it still is hard to get into Westlake. They had, the Minto builders in particular, had an interest list, then a VIP list, and then you had to, there was a sort of like a process where everyone they have lot releases. They were releasing about 20 new homes a month, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. 20 new homes a month being released and sold. They had one recently for 35. Because as the supply chain gets a little bit easier and the price of labor and the availability of labor have been increasing, thank God. If you don't subscribe to our newsletter, A Palm Beach Tale, you should. I highlight it in a Palm Beach Tale this week. So the supply chain is getting easier, and the cost of labor is getting a little bit better. So because of that, they're expanding the amount of homes that they are releasing each month. But it is still a little bit difficult to get in Westlake. Reach out to our team. I'd love to tell you guys about the process for getting in. Suffice it to say, you start on an interest list, and then you go to a VIP list. If you go to the VIP list, then you're allowed to participate in the lot releases. We help you guide. We help educate you as to what you want to prepare for when these releases come out. They come out once a month. So it's one of the things that that's some of the value that we bring when it comes to working with us at living in Palm Beach and buying new construction. One of the last things I want to talk about when it comes to Westlake, and it doesn't pertain just to Westlake, this is true of any new construction community. We like to work with the best consultant at each of these builders and each of these communities. If you go to like a big builder, like let's say Minto, they have 5 consultants there. There are a couple of them that I think that are better than others. Whether you're going there, whether you're going to Reserve at Jupiter, whether you're going to Arden, any of these communities, these builders have certain consultants. I like to work with the consultants that have the best follow through, that present in the most professional way. And we help you. That's one of the benefits working with us, is we help get that meeting. Because I do think it can be a big difference in your experience in buying a new construction, and that's what we're here to do at Living in Palm Beach, is to help your new construction home purchase be an experience that you remember. And remember, it's one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make. So we want to make sure it's as pleasant as can be. Okay, the last new construction community, my favorite. When it comes to the number of the 3 places that people are most moving to here in South Florida, in Palm Beach, I should say, is Avenir. Avenir is located in the prestigious city of Palm Beach Gardens. It's in Western Palm Beach Gardens. The entrance to Avenir is just like the community. It's exquisite. A few years ago now, they cleared out this big piece of property. It's just north of Westlake. It's very far west in Palm Beach Gardens, and they cleared this area out. It's roughly 5,000 acres, and one of the things I think that makes it nice as well is that of the 5,000 acres that was purchased and looking to be developed, only about 2,500 acres is being used for people to buy homes. This area is very high end. They are building if you're a golfer, this is a community you definitely want to consider. They are building a Jack Nicklaus course by name of Panther National. That's still under construction, starting at the high end of an Avenir. Let's just go there. I mean, this is not typical of Avenir as a whole, but they will have on Panther National estate homes starting at 4,000 square feet, going up to 7,500 square feet. Prices I'm hearing are already fairly high, but it's not typical of what Avenir is about. When Avenir started selling about 3 years ago now, they started with Toll Brothers. They were the first builder in there. They have the 2 communities at Toll Brothers, Toll Brothers all ages, I should say. They have Watermark and Wingate, two great communities. Here we are in 2022, and they are starting to sell out of that stuff. Watermark, I believe last I checked, it was down to about 6 or 7 homes. Wingate was down to less than 20. So if you want to get in on a great builder, Toll Brothers is a great builder on an all-age community, now is the time. Continuing on Toll Brothers as a builder, they have one of the other great 55 and older communities. This one's probably a little bit more money than Crestwind. This one is called Regency. Regency, in my opinion, has the nicest 55 and older community in the area. It's called the Pearl. It's still not opened. I went for a few months ago now to their hard hat tour and got an idea as to what they're planning to build. The place is humongous. They have all kinds of things there. The amenities and the activities that Regency will offer will be unchallenged. It will be incredible. So if you're looking at 55 and considering 55 and older communities, you owe it to yourself to at least check out Regency at Avenir. Moving on, the other community that was new to that was sort of on one of the original is a builder by the name of Kenko. Kenko's community is called Coral Isles. It is a very, very high-end builder. So you need a healthy budget. So I don't want to scare you with the highest stuff first, but if you don't have this budget, that's fine. I'll tell you more about what they also have coming up. But if you want to get into Coral Isles, it starts at $1.7 million for just the house. It's a lot. Avenir's gone up a lot over time. It is like I say, it's a golf community, not just the Panther National Golf course. They have something next to the other community nearby called Ancient Tree, and the public course is called Sand Hill Crane. From the people I know that are golfers, they say Sand Hill Crane from a public golf course perspective is phenomenal. Any of these communities, Coral Isles and so forth, if you want to take your golf, it's really easy to do. When they build their town center, more on that in a minute, you can take your golf cart and pretty much drive right to the golf course. So if you're on that southeastern part of Avenir especially, it's an easy ride to get to Sand Hill Crane. Just hop in your golf cart garage and head over to the golf course. If you're a golfer, it's paradise. Kenko, the builder, Coral Isles, one of the attractions to it, and one of the reasons it's most expensive, is because it is very custom. So they are not a production builder. If you want to make, if you want in your first floor, you want to put this kind of floor here and that kind of floor there, they can do it. So this is a builder that's made for people who want to really customize their home, have a healthy budget, and literally you can look at some of the lots. I looked at one of these lots about a year or two ago, and you can look right at the clubhouse, the Avenir Clubhouse, which is exquisite. The Avenir Clubhouse for the whole community, the first one, is just out of this world. I did a video recently on the Avenir amenities. I invite you to check it out. There's just a lot there. They have an area which a lot of it's sort of like in the undecided stage. They have this big area that's off the kitchen, which it looks like they're going to make into a restaurant. It would be ideal for a restaurant. So the pool area for the Avenir Clubhouse is they're going to have a resort style pool. They have a lap pool. A lot of these communities have resistance pools now, which is sort of great exercise. So I invite you again to check out that video. There's going to be a lot there, and they're going to build a second clubhouse for the community of Avenir. What they have now is going to basically service the communities of Watermark, Wingate, Coral Isles, and another community which I'm about to talk about, which is La Thierry. I love La Thierry. We've done a lot of business there. It is one of those communities. It's a Kehovanian is the builder, which I like. I have a lot of respect for them as a builder. What I like about what they offer is that when you look at a Kehovanian home in Avenir, and you look at the models as an example, you're not looking at decked out models like lots of times you will when you look at these sales centers and the model homes. A lot of what you see in these in their models at La Thierry is what they call standard. So it's our experience when working with clients is there's no need to spend a lot of money on the on the options, and then the reason is because the standard features of the homes are quite high as it is. So let's talk about pricing. I probably needed to go through some of this stuff, so I'll go through pricing on everything. Arden, you can probably get in there starting at around 500-600s. Westlake, you can get in there in 6 and 7s, which is 6 and 700,000s. Maybe the upper 5s now as well. And the reason why Westlake is one of the most asked about communities is because of the price point and the value it brings. Avenir, the community we're talking about now, you need a little bit of a healthier budget. On the lower end, you are going to probably need to spend about in the 800,000s to get into the community of Avenir. So back to Latieri, most of the houses there started in the 900s more or less. You can get in. A price went out for a client about a week or so ago because he wanted to get into Latieri, wanted to see what he can get away with in terms of spending. They have an amazing incentive going on right now. Check with our office. These builders have incentives from time to time. We can help guide you as to when and what to expect in the incentives, when they might lapse, as an example, and what they offer. But anyways, their incentives right now, Latieri, are very, very strong. And what I was saying is that there was a home that these people were looking at. You can pretty much get into Latieri today at about $1 million. This home we looked at was $1,020,000. And that included the lot, included the options, what they wanted, and it included, obviously, the home. Continuing, so we started with, in Avenir, there was Toll Brothers, there was Kenko, which is Coral Isles. The third builder we just talked about, which was K.O. Vanian, Latieri. Now, this year, we had a new one just come in. It's Devasta, Polte, and the Devasta part of Polte is opened an area called Avondale. I did a video just specifically on Avondale recently. Check that out if you have questions about it, or obviously call our office. But Avondale is the most northern part of Avenir. They are talking about extending this road called Coconut Boulevard, which will help make better access to get into Avondale, because it is going to be the most north from the main road going through into Palm Beach Gardens, which is North Lake. So anyways, the good thing about it is it butts up. The northern part of Avondale is right adjacent to that natural preserve I was telling you about. If you're a hiker, if you love hiking, Avenir and Avondale is in particular, because it's going to be right against, it's going to be adjacent to it. It is going to be the best place for hiking. Again, 5,000 acres, 2,500 are natural preserves, and that's where you have your hiking trails at Avenir. You can get into Avondale around the same price as Latieri, around $1 million. There are some that actually might be a little bit less. What's great about that community right now is that because they are just started selling, in fact, the models aren't even built yet. What's great about that is that when they do build the models, they will probably raise prices, so you can get good value now. The other thing about it is because they're new, the availability of the lots of land and the pricing on it are very, very favorable. So they're building the northern part of Avenir. They started with Avondale, with Devasta. They have another community, another builder going in there now. They're basically just like leveling the ground. And that's how early they are. They're going to sell starting next year in 2023. The builder is called Akel, A-K-E-L, and I think they're amazing. Akel has a community they have coming up called the Solona Bay. It is not going to be a big community. It's going to be roughly 100 homes. They'll be around the same prices as some of these, maybe slightly higher. But I do have a lot of respect for the builder. They did a community down in Boynton, the Boynton Lake Worth area called Villamar, which was a complete success. If you have questions about that upcoming community, please reach out to our team. Last but not least, there is another builder that has not revealed themselves. And I've been told, and I have a good source, that it's likely to be GL Homes, which is a great builder, as I mentioned earlier. So they will be, hopefully they're taking part of the other part of Avenir. When all is said and done, Avenir is going to be 3,500 homes. Like Westlake, Avenir is going to have their town center. There's going to be a lot of commercial space there. So if you're like a small business and you want to open your business in Avenir, that's going to be a great opportunity. They are bringing a lot of services out there now. They're building a charter school. They're talking about that. They are like Arden, but maybe a different like model and concept. They are building a farm there. So it's exciting. So if you're thinking about moving to Palm Beach and you want a high-end master plan community, I encourage you to check out and explore the community of Avenir. So there you have it. Those are the 3 most popular new construction communities we have here in Palm Beach. Arden, Westlake, Avenir, Palm Beach, paradise here in South Florida.